Well, it's been a few days, been about 5 days since the absolute nightmare that I never thought I'd actually see. And never thought I'd see it. It actually came true. So let's get into it.
This past Saturday, Sam, it was when you play college football, NCAA, you play on as a my team or your dynasty league, and you look at the top stories. It's like Alabama loses to Vandy. You're like, damn, that would never happen in real life, and then it did happen in real life.
Yeah, this was. Let me go through my day real quick on that Saturday. We've been recording our episodes a little bit later in the week just due to, work life and stuff. I wouldn't have been able to record an episode on Monday or anything like that. I needed time to calm my nerves. I've had to take a step back from watching Josh Pate and Joel Klatt in the college football shows. I've had to step aside and play a little bit of Red Dead Redemption and watch Hurricanes to take my mind off of football this week.
Valentine needs your help more.
That's right. Dutch has a plan that I need to fill.
Uncle has lumbago. And we got to get food for the stew to chef to Bill. So Bill can. Who cooks it? Is it chef? Chef has to cook the stew.
Pearson
has to cook the stew, and then you got to.
We got to go. I got to go out with Charles to get a dang deer.
You got to find Lenny.
Lenny.
It's just. It was a rough week. It started off on Monday with the team, the Atlanta Braves, getting knocked out. And then, it was kind of a little low. And then the Falcons game, hey, we won. Go Falcons. That kind of peaked at Kirk Cousins, set a franchise record in passing yards. And then Saturday comes along.
So
tell me your Saturday, and I'll tell you my Saturday.
All right. So there have been some losses in the past 17 years, obviously, in the Nick Saban era. Not too many of them, though. So the losses that Alabama has had, I remember very, very vividly, very well. I remember where I was watching Stephen Garcia beat the brakes off of Alabama, the South Carolina game in 2010. I remember exactly where I was in the kick six. I remember both losses in 2022 against Tennessee and LSU. Remember them all vividly. This is one. The difference between those losses and this one was with those losses, I think about like the 2012 Johnny Manziel game, which was very similar to this one in the way that it was played. But those losses, you kind of had an inkling. It's like, we could lose this game. We went into the LSU game in 2022 going, we could lose this game. Went into the Texas game last year thinking we should win this game, but hey, Texas played us good the year before. We could lose this game. There was no inkling in my mind whatsoever that we were losing to Vanderbilt. You come off of one of the biggest wins in Bryant-Denny Stadium history. And then you go on the road to what Nick Saban even said is the easiest place to play in the SEC, and you put up the worst defensive performance that I have seen Alabama play probably ever.
I didn't even know what time the game was. That's how little I cared about it. I love Alabama football. I wasn't going to use this game. Okay, like if I fell asleep, that's no problem. No! I didn't even know what time the kickoff was. I knew it was in the evening. I knew it was at like the 3 o'clock slot. I didn't know until like 3. You know what I mean? I didn't know what time it was until the 12 o'clock game or 11 o'clock game started. I'm like, okay, well, we're right after the SEC. We're on the SEC network. I mean, we have Aaron Suttles. I like Aaron. But he ain't when you have him, you should be blowing a team out.
Yeah, Tom Hart and Cole Kubelik calling the game. I hate both of those guys. Terrible analysts. But this was a game nobody thought Alabama would lose this game.
We've been upset before this bad. I mean, of course we've been up. Only time I can think about is that time me and you watched, and I remember we was together in the penthouse, aka Campus Quarters, in Mobile, Alabama. Alabama versus Texas A&M.
That game was bad, but it was on the road in a very tough place to play at night.
I just can't get upset like this.
Louisiana Monroe. I was at the Louisiana Monroe game in 2007 when we lost 21-14, which to me at the time was like I felt the exact same way as I felt for the Vanderbilt loss. Like, how in the world do you lose that game? It's just totally frustrating. I remember walking down the spiral ramp at Bryant-Denny Stadium when I was like 12 years old. No, I must have been like 10 years old, 9 maybe, when we lost to Louisiana Monroe. Just going, how in the world did that even happen? This was my feeling here. Difference with that was not anywhere near of a talented team as this Alabama team.
It's not even that. It's the fact that we come off the biggest win at the time. I really think this loss overshadows his win against Georgia.
Yes, it absolutely does. It absolutely does.
Paul Feinbaum had a caller the other day and it went viral. The legend.
Yeah.
A caller for Paul Feinbaum. I remember the legend, but he kind of said it. He said, "This is kind of like when your wife cheats on you. You're a forgiver, but you'll never trust her again." And it's true. I'll never be able to trust this Alabama's defense again under Kalen DeBoer. I saw something the other day. I'm going to leave you with this. Somebody said we are the new Lincoln Riley football team.
I don't want to go that far quite yet.
We have no, it's that we have an offense, but we have no defense.
I don't want to give up on the defense entirely just yet. So he and I know why a lot of people are, but I'll explain why I am not yet. You look at that first half against Georgia, man. I mean, are you just saying it's a fluke?
Let me tell you my opinion. I think that was more Georgia was like, we're going to Bryant-Denny Stadium. The first big team we got to play when they play Clemson, but first big SEC team or SEC game, and it's against Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Trump's going to be here. Everybody's going to be at this game.
I don't know. Prior to the second half of the Georgia game, and I know the teams that they had played prior, but the defense gave up 28 points, 30 points in 4 games, 3.5 games, whatever. So, I mean, not terrible. I mean, I think that this is a defense that can be very, very good when they execute the way that they are supposed to play. I've heard some things Malachi Moore said that they weren't getting the playoff quick enough, or that they weren't getting the play call quick enough, and that was giving them some anxiety, quote unquote. I think that there is time for them to change it and make adjustments, but I see where a lot of people are at. Absolutely. That was a horrible defensive performance, and 2 games now against some mobile quarterbacks, and Diego Pavia ain't even that much of a mobile quarterback, and they've kind of gassed us. I think this game was all the makings of a loss when you look back on it. One, you're going to a stadium. You had the greatest atmosphere in college football the week before, and now here you are at this little teeny tiny stadium with more of your fans than theirs. It's under construction. It's like 28,000 people, and then you've got a team that's hyped up like crazy. They're obviously going to play you better than they've played anybody else all season long. They've hidden a lot of stuff from you offensively, and it's throwing you off. That they run that crazy triple option that if the defense isn't set up for it, they're gonna burn you, and that's what they did. Good thing is, I don't think we play another team that runs the stupid triple option anymore. We're not playing Navy. We're not playing Army this season, so I think we're good there. But I do fear a little bit going forward. I'm not as quite as scared now about Tennessee. Still am. But after their loss to Arkansas, they can certainly be beat. I'm actually a little bit nervous now against South Carolina with Lamont Sellers because he can run. And I'm nervous against Oklahoma's new quarterback because he can run.
Let's dig into it. Let's go over the first games of the week. And let's dig in since it is an 11 o'clock game.
Well, let me get my final thing real quick with the Alabama stuff with the Vandy. I'm going to defend Kalen DeBoer real quickly. 1 second.
He should have worn a collared
If you give a shit about what the coach is wearing, get out of here.
He should have worn a collared damn T-shirt.
Bill Belichick won 6 Super Bowls and wore a freaking hoodie with cut sleeves.
Can we admit though, the medium T-shirt does not look good on him.
It was a bad look. Absolutely. I'm not saying that, but are we seriously gonna sit here and say he needs to wear a suit and tie like Gene Stallings? He needs to wear polo like stop, dude.
Damn, that is kind of tight on him. Damn, that is kind of tight on him.
It was an ugly shirt. I will absolutely say that, but like nobody said anything about what he was wearing when he was winning games. No. So now when he's losing, let's pile on with what he's wearing. Come on now.
Stay with the black on black outfit. My big thing I want to close with Bama Vandy, I don't want the team in the locker room to blow up on itself. Everybody dogging Malachi Moore. And then Malachi Moore coming back and saying, well, if Kane called the plays a little bit faster, we have anxiety because the plays are not getting called in fast enough. It does not look like this is a recipe for something good. I'm just telling you, I'm not trying to sound like a boomer or nothing when I say this. Nick Saban sure as hell wouldn't let a player come out and call out a defense coordinator saying he ain't calling the plays fast enough. You know that like me. He never.
I mean, he did have Jalen Milroe basically say Bill O'Brien was like trying to. I forgot what he said about Bill O'Brien, but you remember that. O'Brien
wasn't coaching there though. I mean, that's different. I mean, Nick Saban probably would say something too to be honest, with that fat son of a bitch.
I will say Kalen DeBoer, if you look at his track record since he's been in the FBS, and it's a small sample size, obviously, because so much of his time was in the NAIA and as a coordinator. But if you look at his time at Washington, if he had a really big game, this is just like last year. He beat Oregon when everybody said Oregon was going to win that game. And then the very next week, they had a horrible game against a bad Arizona State team in which they barely won that game. You look at Kane Womack, defensive coordinator, when he was head coach at South Alabama, beats the crap out of Oklahoma State on the road, makes them their son, and then the very next week at home they lose to Central Michigan. So this is kind of a theme here with this coaching staff, and I want that corrected now. I want this team to learn how to get high and stay high. Not stay where you're at. Stay where your feet are.
I never thought I'd say about an Alabama team, I'm not worried about the offense. I'm worried about the defense.
Ain't that crazy? It's crazy.
1 year difference. But let's dig into the first game. That's Alabama, South Carolina, of course. It's 11 o'clock game. That's going to be on ABC, game of the 11 o'clock slot. The line is 21 points, Alabama favorite. I think you're crazy as hell if you're taking 21 points. With the way the defense is playing right now, I mean, this is a tune-up game. But Lamont Sellers, like you said, I think he was still a little banged up last week. I believe in Lamont Sellers, though. He's a good quarterback. Give me Bama, just because I'm Bama. I'm an Alabama fan, of course, but there ain't no way we're going to beat them by 21. I'm just scared. I'm that low on the defense right now. Last 6 quarters, man, we gave up 60-plus points. Can't get off the field.
I'm going to go Bama as well.
Killer.
I'm going to go Bama as well here, and I'm going to take them to cover, which is really bold of me because I never bet on Alabama. I'm very unoptimistic when it comes to Alabama. But with this, I think that they're going to come in charged, energized. Supposedly, Kalen DeBoer has locked in this week, so I don't really know. I think fans are going to be rowdy. Now, I will say, if this is another bad game, especially a loss, this will be really bad. This will be really, really, really bad. He can afford another loss this season because I think everybody was expecting a 10-2 season, still getting the playoffs. But he
sure wasn't expecting one of those losses to be made.
No, absolutely not. But that's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, what do you think DeBoer said to him after the game? What the heck, guys? You know, he don't cuss. What the heck, guys? Bull crud, guys.
I have no clue.
Yes, you're pissing me off, man. What the heck? What the hell? What the hell?
I have no clue. He's very he says a lot without actually saying much. Like if you listen to his interviews, and he says a lot and we're just trying to stay together as a family, and just and make the best of things, and and that pissed me off a little bit because Saban was so well spoken with the media. That's something I have to get used to personally.
I have a next game for you actually, and I think this is a game you think no, they'd blow them out, but Wisconsin at Rutgers.
I'll be honest with you. Greg Schiano got them boys ready.
Give me Rutgers. They're 4-1 this year. They got the line at them 2.5-point favorites. Give me Rutgers.
Give me Rutgers as well.
I got another Big Ten game for you, and it is so weird seeing this. I feel like you never Washington at Iowa.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Give me
Iowa.
I'm gonna go with Iowa on this one. I think Washington came off a big win against Michigan last week, going on the road to a place they haven't been in who knows how long, if ever. Give me Iowa here.
I got a game here I want to talk about just because I want to talk about one team. They're 5-0 right now, and everybody's talking about, man, there's a chance they could make the playoffs. UAB at Army.
I think this is the first time since World War II that both Army and Navy are undefeated this far into the season. Pretty cool to see. Also makes me worry, are we going to war soon? Does that say something here? I don't know. Give me Army. Give me the black. I mean, hey, let's go America. Come on now. I can't pick against America.
I was say, how do you root against Army? But how long did we give Trent Dilfer at UAB? Did you see his press conference?
Yeah. Did you see the amount of fans that were at the game the other day? They are totally out on Trent Dilfer. This is a bad situation.
I don't know why they hired him. I thought that was kind of a bogus hire. He'd never been coached in a college. Yeah. He was a high school coach at some academy in Nashville. I didn't really understand that.
UAB, when they lost their football program in 2014, they had that, I think it was 3 years without football. Then they got it back in 2017 with Bill Clark. Bill Clark dominated. He had them boys going. I remember UAB coming to South one year and just beating the crap out of us. And I don't remember why Bill Clark left or resigned. I don't think he got fired. He what?
It was a medical.
That's what it was. Medical thing.
And it was like August. It was like last minute kind of thing.
Yeah, in his last season, if I remember correctly, they didn't do so hot. But still, to go and get Trent Dilfer, very weird. He's definitely not fitting in with the UAB media, which says a lot.
Did you see what he said in the press conference?
Yeah, he said, "We're not Alabama. You can come up here."
He said freaking Alabama. I'm like, oh my god! Like you just don't come out and say everybody knows it, but you don't come out and say it.
Yeah. Pretty bad. All right, Clemson quietly 4-1, quietly beating the crap out of everyone they've played outside of Georgia. They go on the road to Wake Forest. This should be a big win for Clemson.
I think I have Clemson winning the ACC right now.
I have Clemson winning the ACC right now as well. I mean, look, let's talk about Miami real quick because Miami is the only undefeated team left in the ACC. Is the ACC doing whatever they can to keep these guys undefeated? Because that's what it seems like. There's 2 weeks in a row where the refs have saved their butts.
Let me see when they play Clemson.
They don't
Because
play Clemson in the regular season. They will have to play in the ACC championship if they do.
Man, if they play Florida State will qualify. Jesus Christ. They might, Duke 5-1 would be a tough game. Manny Diaz versus Miami, that would be an interesting matchup. Miami, that might be the game they lose. Miami at Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech, we thought maybe Georgia Tech would take a step back, and we were like, "Oh, is Georgia Tech not as good as we thought because Florida State is bad?" Georgia Tech's near 4-2. I mean, they could be a contender in the ACC if one of those teams drops.
Look, that's the game. No, they don't. If Miami played SMU, I would almost go to say Miami would lose. That's another team to look at for the ACC. Also, if Clemson slips up, I could see potentially SMU getting in the championship.
Yeah. And SMU looked bad to start the season. Remember, they went on the road to Nevada and just started awful. All right, first Red River rivalry game in the SEC.
We have Quentin Ewers playing in it.
Probable. He's probable.
I thought they came out and said he was playing.
Last time I saw that, but it was last night when I saw that it was probable. So maybe they came out today and said that he was starting.
By the way, I'm just looking right now because I want to see who's still starting. Western Kentucky's beating UTEP right now, 17-7. TJ Finley, the mighty ass. He don't even start off for Western Kentucky no more.
He had such a great season at Texas State. I don't know why he didn't stay there because Texas State is like.
Auburn, I never thought he was great. I mean, he wasn't bad. I mean, how do you go from LSU starting quarterback, Auburn starting quarterback, Texas State, and you go to Western Kentucky and you're
riding the bench?
I just don't know. But give me Texas. I think Texas is a piece of shit. I think that they cover. 14.5 is the point spread. I think they cover.
Texas minus 14.5. I'm going to go Texas here, and I'm going to say they don't cover. And because I have been impressed by this Oklahoma defense. I look at what they did against such a high-flying offense of Tennessee and how they were able to keep them to 20 points. And I know that Tennessee supposedly let off the gas a little bit, but did they really? This Arkansas game makes me go, did they really?
Yeah.
I don't know. This Oklahoma defense, I like it, but I don't think that they have the offense to compete enough with Texas. But I think the defense does enough to keep it under 14.5. Give me Texas, but no cover.
Okay.
And these games are always close.
No, you're right. The last 2 years, Oklahoma's won it, haven't they?
They definitely won it last year, and I do believe they won it the year before.
Okay. This next game, this has definitely been a Rose Bowl. Penn State at USC.
This is going to be – I would have so much have rather seen USC on the road to Penn State instead of Penn State at USC. Can you imagine a whiteout game at night with USC? That'd be such a great color game. But give me Penn State on the road. I think – actually, you know what? No. I'm going to go with USC in this game. I think another undefeated team falls this week, and I think – Penn State, obviously one is going to fall between Ohio State and Oregon, but I think Penn State goes down this week as well. They go on the road to USC. USC, I think, is going to be fired up, and James Franklin, until he proves to me that he can win the big game, I don't think he can.
Okay, give me Penn State. I think I'll beat the show.
Okay.
My upset of the week, California at Pittsburgh.
Pitt 5-0 as well. Who saw that coming? Eli Holstein.
Redshirt freshman from the University of Alabama.
That's right. So you got Cal with the upset, huh?
Yes, give me Cal with the upset.
I like this Cal team. I don't think they were robbed, but I mean, hey, they were beating Miami for a good bit of that game. I'm going to go Cal as well. I think Pitt, I don't know how much longer they can hold on 5-0.
They impressed me against Auburn a lot. They impressed me a lot against Auburn. Let me see the next game. Arizona at BYU.
Arizona has kind of disappointed me this season. They retained so many of their players from the Jed Fish era that abruptly ended when Kalen DeBoer left Washington. Jed Fish then goes to Washington. But they keep all the players, but it has not been what I was hoping for with Arizona. Give me BYU in this game.
Give me BYU. I actually have BYU winning the Big 12 right now.
Okay. Wow. I still have Kansas State winning the Big 12, but BYU quietly 5-0 right now.
They're right below, I think. Didn't they played each other, didn't they?
No.
They did. They beat Kansas State 38-9.
Was this last week? When was this?
2 weeks ago, 21st.
Oh, shoot. I still have Kansas State winning it. Bulldogs versus Bulldogs.
Oh, Georgia. I think they cover 34.
Beat down. Beat down. This is at Georgia. Kirby Smart came out and tried to pull a Nick Saban, calling out his fans for being quiet and leaving in the fourth quarter. Who do you think you are, Kirby Smart? You think just because Nick Saban's gone, you could say that now? No.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, give me Georgia big. Tennessee hosting Florida.
Yeah, give me Tennessee. Beat the shit out.
I'm gonna go Tennessee as well. But Tennessee, if there's any team that Tennessee cannot beat over the past 30 years, one, it's Alabama, aside from 2022. The other is Florida. Even in Florida's down years, they hadn't figured out how to beat those guys. I mean, even last year, couldn't beat Florida. So who knows? I do think Tennessee beats the crap out of them, but if Florida somehow wins, that's actually worst case scenario for Florida, and I'll tell you why. We don't have to get rid of Billy Napier anymore.
Yeah.
And then they keep Billy Napier for another season. He can beat Tennessee. Well, and then next season you keep him, and he goes yet again 5-7, 6-6, 4-8, whatever. So if you're a Florida fan, you actually want to lose this game. You want to lose every other game on your schedule, to be honest with you, if you want Billy Napier gone.
Next game. This game, I know we were both. It was on both of our top 10 games. Ohio State at Oregon. This is going to be a massive game. 2 versus 3. But give me the Buckeyes. I think big.
Big?
I'm not big on Oregon this year. I'm just not.
Okay. Ohio State is favored -3. I think that's fair. I'm going to go with the Oregon Ducks.
Oh!
That's my upset of the week. I think
that's the upset of the week. I got my next upset of the week, actually. You know, we've been doing it back-to-back. Give me LSU over Ole Miss.
I was also going to choose LSU over Ole Miss. Ole Miss has disappointed me. They've looked good at times, but the Kentucky game, I feel the same way about Lane Kiffin as how I do about James Franklin. Can he win the big game? His biggest win so far as a head coach was LSU last year, and LSU ended up not being that great of a team. You needed Jaden Daniels to go as far as you did. So give me LSU this game. I need Lane Kiffin to show me more that he can win big games.
With the last game of the night, I'm going to pick this upset. Colorado over your Kansas State Wildcats. Boom!
Yeah, I can't do that.
Kansas State's only favored by 3.5 points.
I know, but I'm a big Wildcat fan right now. If Alabama loses against South Carolina, I'm just going for Kansas State from here on out.
Roy Bolton, Corbin Blue.
Let's move forward because we probably won't record another episode between them. For the first time in 7 years, the South Alabama Jaguars will likely or should come out with a victory over the Troy Trojans in the battle for the belt.
On Tuesday night.
On Tuesday night. What in the absolute are we doing? Tuesday night. We're getting the prime time over Kennesaw State and Middle Tennessee that day. We got 3 games.
I pray to God Roger Federer's not playing that day or something.
I think probably some MLB playoff game going on. Well, that does it for our picks for this week. Week 7. That's insane to me. This college football season is going by so fast. I mean, it feels like that every year, but it just feels like this year's even faster than last. Last year was faster than the year before. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL. You and I played each other in fantasy this week, and I just barely pulled it out.
Because you had some players left on Monday night. I scored the most points in like fantasy in the league, and I
after Thursday night, I was like, I'm cooked. I'm toast. You had like 60 points after Thursday night. I was like, there's no way.
And then Jamar
Chase happened. For finally.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm over it. I drafted Christian McCaffrey and Devontae Adams. So yeah, that's how my season's going.
I drafted Rashee Rice.
At least he played some games. I ain't get nothing out of McCaffrey.
True. How are we feeling about the NFL right now? Big comeback win by your Falcons over the Bucks on Thursday night.
I really like the Falcons and Bucks. I can see both of them making the playoffs. I'm being honest.
I can too.
I think they're pretenders. I think the Saints are pretenders. I don't think the Saints are anything.
Spencer Rattler starting this weekend. We'll see how he does.
Bryce Young is?
Spencer Rattler starting for the Saints this weekend.
Yeah. Teams in the NFC I'm impressed with. Falcons, Bucks. I'm really liking what I see with Minnesota. Really like what I see in Minnesota, 5-0. I really like those teams. Philadelphia, not really. Dallas and South Alabama boy, Jalen Tolbert. Winning the game. Green Bay really hasn't impressed me.
Hey, Xavier McKinney, you can about put a bet down every game that he's going to get an interception, though.
I feel like it, man. My God. But AFC, I'm impressed with Pittsburgh. Of course, with no offense, still they're decent. Kansas City, of course. Kansas City, they don't ever want Kansas City to lose. Ever.
No.
But
whoever does finally beat them, it'll be a very big win, and it'll have to be a big win to try and get the.
I know we're 3-2, but we lost to Kansas City by one possession, and it was close the whole game. So I feel fine about that. And then that Pittsburgh game. Every game we've had has been a one possession game, like to the end. I just hope to God we beat the shit out of Carolina this week.
We shall see. All right, we are 33 minutes in. Do you happen to have a question of the day, or rather question of the week, I guess, for us?
What song is your guilty pleasure to jam out to, but like you don't want to do it in front of other people? You like mine is like Celine Dion.
Careless Whisper by George Michael.
Mine's Goofy Goober by formerly known as SpongeBob SquarePants.
Speaking of SpongeBob SquarePants, you told me you have not tried the Krabby Patty meal from Wendy's. I have not. It just looks like a regular hamburger, which you have said the same exact thing. I don't get this one. I get all the other ones, the Saweetie meal from McDonald's, the Travis Scott meal, the Mr. Beast meal from Zaxby's. This one is just a hamburger.
I mean, it truly is just like a Dave single.
Yeah. And I do know it comes with like a little orange crush slushy thing or something like that.
The only thing they added was like a sauce on the burger. Nothing crazy.
Well, I got a question of the day for you. We're getting into fall now. Finally, after a hurricane that just came through yesterday here in Florida, getting some fall weather. Okay, I think the high today was like 75. This weekend, the high is like 82 or something like that, but that's the high. And then next week, we're getting into like 70s consistently. Are you a fan of the fall weather, or do you like the fall? What's your opinion on this time of year?
I hate spring. I'll be honest.
Really?
Not the biggest. I don't like the. I don't. because of the time change. I'll be honest. I have to wait for the time to change so much.
I prefer the springtime change in the fall because in the fall it's 5 o'clock and it's dark. I hate that.
No, but I'm saying I feel like it's 5 o'clock and it's dark. Like at least in the fall time, you don't have half a fall. Like spring, it's all of spring is like, you know what I mean? Or do I have my time change zones? I don't really know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of over summer. You know, everybody hypes up summer. I think summer sucks personally.
I love summer. I really do. But I love summer up until 4th of July. After 4th of July, it's like, all right, can we start football? Can we?
Well, like, no, I don't understand the hype about summer. I'll be honest. You know, as a kid, it's awesome. Like,
Well, it's warm outside. It's sunny. Go to the beach. Go to the pool. Do cookouts.
well,
All
you're
this
not
stuff.
doing, like me and you, like we don't have to go on vacation in the summer. We can go on vacation next week if we want to.
True. I prefer spring. Spring is my favorite as an adult. Early or mid spring where it's cool but it's still sunny.
I want to watch the
change.
leaves fall on the ground. It just tickles my nipples.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. I got some fall scented candles. This is, I don't know how it's fall scented, but it smells like it. This is vintage leather. You can't read it, but vintage leather. Is that galaxy gas that you just sucked?
I'm just telling you, that's mellow mushroom
A can of
gal.
It's like, what is that? There.
I got a blue. I got purple. I got blue still in here actually.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Well, guys, that does it for episode 56 of Heads Up Play. I'm going to leave us with this.
World today.
Kalen DeBoer, it's probably backwards. You read this here. I said, I ain't never been nothing but a winner. You know who said that? Paul Bear Bryant.
And let Willie into Tuscaloosa this weekend.
Yeah. I don't know what y'all been doing, kicking him out of Ramajamas, but
I'm just saying.
he got us Ryan Williams single-handedly.
The 1 week that we kicked out Willie, we lost to Vandy. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good point. Bring him back. All right, guys. John Rivers, hit him with it before we go.
Kalen DeBoer, wear a collar T-shirt and stay classy.
No, wear a freaking wife beater and a do-rag.